Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Naga Fanindra, and I'm from first year Aero. So today I'm here to present my concept video on the topic of roles of verbal communication in the process of verbal communication. So let's get started. So basically, first comes the outline. So it includes first thing is communication, and second thing is verbal communication and the oral communication and the forms of oral communication and written communication, forms of written communication, comparison between verbal and non-verbal. In coming to communication skills, there are two types of communications. One is a verbal communication and the other one is a non-verbal communication. Both are different from each other. Each have their own specific things and different forms to speak to. So first of all, what is communication? Communication is a process of transferring knowledge or information from a sender to receiver, or exchanging your knowledge through some media is known as communication. So there are two types of communication. One is verbal and another one is non-verbal. So first, non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication is a communication to sending and receiving wordless clues. So in non-verbal communication, see as here I have an example, we won't use any words to speak or any particular text to send our message or receive. Just we'll use some kind of emojis or our feelings, how we express our in some way or in a pictures way, how we are feeling. We can't show it in a text. So basically, we use a non-verbal communication there. So the opposite person will understand in which mode or which we are in. Here comes the verbal communication. Verbal communication is a usage of sound to express yourself. That means it may be your message, or it may be your thoughts, or it may be your ideas or feelings, or it may be your anything in a form of it's a form of expressing in a verbally or in a textfully through our orally. It might be oral or it might be written. So there are two types of communications. Yes, one is oral and one is written one. You can convey your perspective in the both manners. So first we come to the oral communication. This transformation is done by speech. Um, it effect is depends on the clarity, pause in the sentence, and loudness. First thing when you're speaking, clarity is very much important. And without clarity, if you speak, no, the one who is receiving your message will not understand clearly. And you should take a pause between some sentences so that he can understand your point, like exactly what you want to do. And loudness. If there are a group of people, for example, and you speak very low, like so the last person who is more willing to listen, he can't take a part of your class, so we should speak loud too. Less effective is used without eye to eye contact, proper gesture, and feelings. So we should maintain eye contact and a proper gesture and with good feelings. We should convey a message exactly in a good positive vibe so that everyone could understand our topic very clearly. Most powerful tool of communication our PM Sri Narendra Modi is a master in this communication. As you know, the political leaders or anyone or a PM, it might be CM, they're very good at communication because they do follow everything and they give pauses, they speak loudly and they give clarity about what will they do or what should their people get to know about them. They'll be perfect at this thing. If we give even a mic for 2 3 hours, they can easily manage what to speak without any preparation. Also, it's I know it's required some talent, but we should also develop that skills in ourselves. So forms of oral communication. So in oral communication, it might be some few types. So first one will be the face-to-face conversation. So face-to-face conversation may be like a person in front of talking or side by face-to-face exchanging the words. gives a conversation over there. And next, telephone conversation. Nowadays, wherever we move or wherever we'll be, if other person is not with us, we'll simply put a call to him and we'll get to know that where is he. So it also gives us it's a kind of communication via telephone, via some media. It's a telephone and meetings. Yes, in meetings, of course, we use some communication. It will be a kind of two types of meetings. It will be formal and informal. Formal meetings like our college group discussions or discussions with some faculty or discussion in uh, some group of people over some thing is called as official formal discussion, and the discussion between our friends and anything is comes on an informal discussion. So it might be changed at any format. We among our friends we can speak anything we want, but coming to formal, it's not like that. And the video conferences, yeah, nowadays due to some corona, we couldn't. Before corona, also used to talk some video conferences for some works and some for purposes. And due to some corona, most of the companies became like they're not going to office and they're working from home. So while they're in meeting, they are using video conferences calls and they'll exchange the words. What did they do the whole day, and they'll suggest each other anything. And for us also, students in during Corona, we also learned through online. So that type of conferences will come under video conferences. So here, what is a conference and dictation, presentation, interviews, and instruction? So conferences, as I said, a group of people coming together and sitting. One will be uh, one will be telling something about the topic. One will be something telling about topic, and others will listen to him, and they'll listen, and they will get to know what he want to know. And the dictation is one we hear and write for ourselves. And the presentation will come under the same again, one who is coming and presenting over his ideas, so in a group of people or in a group discussion. And interviews, as I know, interviews comes under a formal group discussion, a formal discussion. Face to face, there'll be some kind of interviews, it may be face to face or a group of three people interviewing one. So an instruction is how to do, what to do, and uh, if you do in what way it will be perfect, or giving you the instructions in a good way to do good is it comes under the instructions. So written communication. Now the topic is written communication, expressing our message by written words. Proof of communication is automatically generated in this communication. Yeah, long-term data storage and documentation is possible. Yeah, in oral communication there will be no proof because we throw out words very easily and they'll be not recorded or neither noted anywhere. So there will be no some uh, documentation or any written note of it what we spoke. So if anyone, the opposite person, one whom we are talking to remembers only, we could remember what we are speaking. So long-term data and nothing will be there in our communication. But where written communication, long-term data will be stored and the documentation is also will be possible. And if you want to show it like to any proof, if you want to present it as a proof in front of anyone, also we can do that very easy. Must be used in a legal procedures. For writing also, there are many procedures like once we write in our notes and once we write a letter, there will be format. If you write something in rough notes, it's our wish. But in types of writing also we use types of in types of writing also use types of formats, which is also very important in a written communication. If we didn't write in a proper format, no, the one who is receiving a message will not understand in what tempo and what mood or in what way we are speaking to him. But and giving respect in written communication is also very very good. So form of writing written communications. First one is memos. As you know, our colleges give us a memorandum or memo as it's a certificate. And letters, as we know, letters are of again two types, formal and informal. Each of them have a different formats to write, and circulars, which we use to pass information, reports, and reports comes under one who wants reports. So reports are also called as analysis. So we'll analyze a thing and we'll put it together, which comes under report. Bulletins, the short notes, the short notifications, and the manuals. Emails. Nowadays, everything has been converted to electronics, and nowadays, whatever we want it, or we want to register in anything, the email ID is very important. Everyone, comparing from small to big ages, everyone is having an email ID of his own, in which it is very useful. And email is a formally kind of communication conveying the message, and formally or informally also. And there will be a small kind of format to write a mail, in which only the written one is kind of following format, and if you use in software, it's a formal format will come automatically. So newsletters. So nowadays, letters have been reduced because of this, again, the mail only. So few are still using the newsletters, or sorry, letters and all. And this newsletter comes if we pass any news or anything, then comes to your newsletter. And research papers. Yeah, for in case, for example, in our college also, there are many professors who do the research in their specific field, and they give their opinion and a very short notes of that, and which converts into a research paper, and which will be easy to understand by them, and they will give them more information or what they feel or more depth of topic in their research papers. And no notices. Notices we see everywhere in our daily life, that don't do that, don't close the door, push, pull, for example, many things. Those comes under the notices. So now comes the main topic: verbal versus non-verbal communication. So first thing is verbal communication. Uses oral and written kind of uses oral presentation and written presentation in verbal, whereas non-verbal don't use any written or verbal. It will just take or so send or receive a message with some non-verbal things, using some images or emojis or photos. Easy to understand because once we type or once we talk, once we write, the other who is seeing can easily understand what we are saying them or what we want to convey them. But here, uh, we can't understand easily that what we are. If suddenly someone comes and sees that what is this, it will take some time to remind him. "Ocha, okay, he's the topic. This is the topic, and here is the photo or here is something, so we can understand." It takes some time. Comparatively, this is easily understandable, and this is also understandable, but it is difficult comparatively among both. This is difficult. So highly structured and has a lacks of formal structures. Yeah, in verbal communication, because it's in a many formats, so you should use a particular format for this. In this non-verbal communication, we need not follow any formats or anything. And begins and end with words. It continues till until the purpose achieved. Yeah, why do we exactly communicate to each other to convey some message? So if we start conveying after it's ending, we'll after we getting our senders and receivers message, we'll go back and do our separate things. Yeah, whereas in non-verbal communication, if uh, if you want to, and I mean, and actually it runs for a while, so that both of them get a clarity, and the fun is doing in purpose. No, if he sends something, until his purpose is fulfilled, he'll the conversation will be not ended over there. Let's and delayed feedback, and gives a lot feedback. Yeah, it gives some feedback is not required in oral or written presentations, because it itself gives its own understanding, but it requires a lots of feedback, because one thing when one thing may have many message, many meanings. So what we want to convey, it should be in a good manner. So I come to the conclusion. In the end, verbal communication means via words we can communicate easily and speedily. It has two types, oral and written. It is highly structured so that we can understand it properly, and it has a less feedback. So with this, I conclude my topic, and thank you.